Namaste, Prakash here. Welcome to Dharma Tales. Let's debate. We move into this episode with a very interesting and powerful story from one of the climax scenes of Mahabharata. A story pertaining to Bhishma and how that helps us to learn a lot about Dharma in a period where Dharma itself was still considered sacred. How two warring factions looks at Dharma and what are the learning that we have for the current situation, what we can pick up. Let's see. Let's move to the war field during the Kurukshetra battle. The battle was getting intense, and whatever Duryodhan was throwing at Pandavas, they were able to defeat him at every turn, and of course thanks to the support of Lord Krishna. And Duryodhan really gets angry with all this, and he finally decides to go and confront Bhishma, who was the commander-in-chief for them, and has a conversation in the evening, late in the evening, and tells him very straight, you love Pandavas too much, and that is precisely why we are not winning this battle. And one leads to another. And finally, he is able to push Bhishma to make a vow. And we all know that what Bhishma is capable. Finally, Bhishma gives him a word that by tomorrow evening in the battle, either I will be alive or the 5 Pandavas will be alive. And with this, he even marks 5 arrows and then says that these are the 5 arrows which are going to kill the Pandavas. Duryodhan wants to be sure. So he even picks up the arrows from Bhishma just in case he might change his mind. And then he happily walks out. On the other side of the battlefront, Lord Krishna senses this, and he knows that if Bhishma has made a vow, he knows for sure that it's all done, and that's something that might go against his own battle plans. And then he goes and meets Draupadi. Now he has to strategically work and ensure that the interest of Pandavas are taken care of. He goes and meets Draupadi and then tells her very curtly, the Pandavas are dead. So Draupadi is startled, she sort of is upset and then asks Lord Krishna, what do you mean? How can you make such a statement? He says, I didn't make that statement. It is Bhishma who has made the statement. And then now Draupadi knows for sure that there is some serious trouble and she doesn't know really what to do. And then as usual, she falls at the feet of Krishna and says, please tell what needs to be done now. And then now Krishna devises a plan and a strategy. And then just tells her, come along with me. Let's go to the battlefront where Bhishma is resting for the night. And let's see how we can handle this. And by this time, Lord Krishna already has something which comes up in his mind and heart. He goes there, and in those days, the battlefield, there are certain rules and guidelines. Who you are, you can't really go into the others' tents specifically. And then there are guards who are guarding Bhishma's tent. And then when they see, of course, Lord Krishna is in a disguise like a servant. And when he goes there, they very clearly say that you can't meet Bhishma. But even in those days, there was a very clear exception. Ladies and very old people, men or women, are permitted to go because we don't know what the contingencies are. And then the guards there say that you will not be able to go in, but this lady can go. Of course, they don't recognize who they are. And now Draupadi doesn't know. Now she has to move into uncharted territories and doesn't even know how to actually meet Bhishma. And then Lord Krishna gives her a beautiful plan. He looks into the tent of Bhishma, and then from a distance he could see that the lights were almost off. He just tells her, just sneak into the tent, and without him being able to see, go and hold his feet and ask for his blessings. And he very clearly says, be extremely careful, because what you do here will determine the future of the war tomorrow, what's going to happen. And with her breath, she really holds it tight and then slowly moves in. And as she reaches Bhishma's tent, literally she crawls and goes. And Bhishma is in deep sleep. She just goes just near his the tailhead of the bed and then holds his legs and then says, please bless me. Bhishma, being what he is, instinctively opens he gets up. And he thought for a moment that it is a follow-through of Duryodhan, and it is Bhanumati, which is the wife of Duryodhan, who has come there to take his blessing. And instantly he says, Dirgha Sumangali Bhava, which very loosely translates in English as be a married woman, Dirgha Sumangali Bhava, where the lady's husband will live into eternity, which means this lady will continue to be having a husband throughout her life. And with these words, he wakes up. And then he looks and then finds to his shock that it is actually Draupadi and not Bhanumati. And now he has given two oaths which are at two ends of the stick. One, he very clearly says that he is going to kill the Pandavas by the end of the day. And the other, he has told the wife of Pandavas, Draupadi, that you are going to have your husbands into eternity. Dirgha Sumangali Bhava. And this is where the battle of Dharma starts. And he actually gets angry. He immediately asks her, I know for sure that you wouldn't have come alone. And I'm very sure that there is somebody behind you. And he already senses what's happening. And then Draupadi just says that I have a servant who has come along. And Bhishma says, please show me who the servant is. And as he walks out, and then he tells the guards, please allow the servant to come in. And Krishna is already also in disguise, as we saw already. He comes in, and then Bhishma instantly understands it is the Lord himself who has come, and then falls at his feet and says, why have we done this? And of course, the transactions go on, and Krishna explains and whatever. And the next day, how it unfolds, we all know. And after that, of course, Duryodhan's choice of Lord Krishna, Karna has to get into the war, and that is the master plan for Duryodhan. Either Bhishma kills the Pandavas, or Pandavas kill Bhishma, and then Karna gets him. Either way, he wants the war to go that way. And the whole thing unfolds like that. The story, as far as we are concerned, ends somewhat here. There are two warring factions. Even in real life, if you look at it, there are two warring factions or multiple warring factions. And each one wants to actually win the war. In this situation, how did Dharma unfold? Was Bhishma, in his commitment, did he go back on the commitment as far as what he gave to Pandavas was concerned? He also had to give a commitment to Draupadi, which he gave. And on the other hand, Lord Krishna, literally being the advisor to Pandavas, had to pull off something very miraculous to ensure that Pandavas are saved and they go on to win the war. For him, the ultimate Dharma being upheld is determined by the Pandavas being alive. There are multiple factions, whether you are the CEO of an organization, whether you're heading a nation. There are many times questions that come up. What should I do in this situation? Would means justify the end? Or would I have to look at straightforward ways of getting into the ends without having to bypass Dharma on the way? Lord Krishna did what he felt was right. Bhishma had to commit what he committed. He again gave a commitment which ran counter to the initial commitment that he had given to Duryodhan. And then the story unfolds. From this story, go into the comment section below the video that you watch. Share your thoughts. What are the learning as far as we are concerned for our day-to-day life? Do we come across situations where many times, for the sake of getting what we want, do we bend the rules? Or do we look at dharma in totality? Or for the sake of justifying the end, which is upholding of the dharma, do we compromise a bit? Is it fair? Is it right? Just because the Lord did, is it something that is has to be done? And Bhishma, being what he is, mortal, he goes on to make a mistake of committing to two ends of a spectrum where one of them he can't surely uphold. Did he miss on his dharma? All these are questions which really through this story to us. Very interesting ones, very powerful ones, which really gives us a spectrum of a choice of questions that we need to answer. Sometimes this specific story can span a discussion of 1 to 2 hours when people think about the various dharmic equations that are thrown at us through this story. Come, let's debate Dharma tales till we meet again.